Hello everyone, my name is Mike Guillen. In today's video, I'm going to show you the features and adjustments on this RM756YC. First, we're going to discuss what these bails and levers do. And as you can see here, we've color coded them to make it a lot easier for you to understand. So this is your self-propel bail, and this one works in conjunction with this lever here. So we have orange and orange, then we have red with red down here. This controls the BBC blade brake clutch, engage, disengage. And then you got a sole lever up here that's in green. This will be your throttle lever control right here. Next, I want to talk about these three cables right here, and we've labeled them 1, 2, and 3. Cable number 1 is the throttle cable. Cable number 2 is the self-propel cable, and cable number 3 is the blade brake clutch cable. To make adjustments on these cables, you want to make sure for the BBC cable, the blade brake clutch cable, that there's no threads on the bottom and all the threads are on the top. That's your proper adjustment there. For cable number 2, your self-propel cable, you want to start half and half. Half the threads on the top side and half on the bottom, as you can see there. That gives you a good starting point. Throttle cable number 1 here, the adjustment will be down towards the engine. You'll loosen this 7mm bolt, and you'll either push this cable back or forward to make that adjustment. So now that we got the machine with oil and gas, now it's time to turn it on. So we're going to put this lever all the way down for choke. We're going to start the machine. It's not starting. So with our throttle lever in the choke position, I want to verify that we are getting choke on the carburetor. This black lever here is supposed to move, and it's not. When you move this lever, this is supposed to swing all the way out just like that, and as we can see, it's not. So we got to make the adjustment right here at the throttle cable. So all this exposed thread is our adjustment. I'm going to loosen the 7mm bolt, and I'm going to pull back on this cable until this is starting to engage. Take our 7mm wrench, loosen it just enough, and then pull back. We're going to start there for now and see if that engages. So with the lever, okay, we got a little bit of movement here, but we still are about halfway. It needs to swing out all the way just like that, and it's quite not. I need to make another adjustment here, pull the cable back just a little bit more. Do it right about there. Okay, let's see if that arm engages all the way. There we go. That's what we want to see. That's now fully engaged. Fully engaged. Okay, let's start it up now. Okay, now that we made that throttle cable adjustment, now we're going to start the mower. RPMs are too high, as you can see and hear. So now we need to focus on the governor. Okay, so you heard the high RPMs. We want to see if the governor spring is messed up, which this one looks like it's still in excellent condition. What we want to do now is reset the governor RPMs, and And we're going to do so by loosening this 10mm nut. Get you a wrench, loosen that up. You don't have to take it off, just loosen it, just like that. We want to get a pair of pliers on this governor shaft, just like that. And we want to turn it clockwise. So we're going this way towards the fuel tank. We want to turn it, and as you can see, it's about 1/8 of a turn. There's not much adjustment there, but we want to turn it all the way till it stops. And we also want to push this lever back. See that wiggle that it has? We want to push it all the way back. And it's easier to do it with 2 people. Now we're going to tighten up this nut, and I'm still pushing clockwise with these pliers and still pushing back this lever while I'm tightening it. This is a very important step. Okay, so now that we've reset the governor back to factory settings, we're going to test run the mower and let's see what it does. Okay, so what you saw there was the engine RPMs are where they need to be. However, when I tried to lower the RPMs to the turtle position, we didn't get no response from the engine. So we got to see why that's the case. Also, when I engaged the self-propel on the slowest speed, I didn't get anything from the transmission. On the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, I didn't get nothing until I got almost to the 8th position there. So let's make those adjustments now. Okay, so the RPMs on the rabbit position were where they need to be. However, on the turtle position, low RPMs, we didn't get any response. We want to make sure that this idle screw here is adjusted properly. And as you can see, that's screwed in all the way. So we need to back that out. Let's back that out. And what we want is when you come around and you look through this side, you want to see about 2 threads on that screw showing. And we'll show you what that looks like. Got a black screw right down there, and you want to see about 2 threads on that black screw right there. So now that we made that adjustment, let's focus on the self-propel adjustment. Cable number 2 is your self-propel cable, and we're going to make that adjustment now. 2 10mm wrenches, one to hold the back nut, and we're going to loosen it. Once you got it finger loose, you want to loosen the top one here and just come down a little bit, just like that, and then tighten it up. And you want to test the mower out. Okay, now that we've made that cable adjustment on the self-propel, we want to make sure that it's working in all settings here. So let's start the mower and see. Okay, we saw that the throttle does have adjustment now as far as high RPM, low RPM. Our rabbit position works and our turtle position works. So we got that squared away. If you notice on the transmission, the slowest speed did not engage yet. So I got to make a slight adjustment, and I'll do that now. Okay, now with the cable adjusted, let's test out the mower to ensure that all the speeds are functioning as they should. Okay, so you saw that all the speeds engaged, including from the slowest speed all the way to the fastest speed. And keep in mind that if you over tighten the self-propel cable, the wheels are going to lock up and when you pull back. So if your wheels are locking up when you pull the mower back, that lets you know that you over tighten the cable and you loosen it back up just a bit. Now that we've made several adjustments to the self-propel cable, we've made adjustments to the throttle cable, I want you to focus your attention on this wire right here. This wire right here is what shuts off the engine. So when you're fully choked, once you start backing the throttle, you'll hear an audible click coming from back here. I just heard it. It's a very faint click that you'll hear, and you should hear it when your lever is all the way on the off position. So we can put it forward, start going back, and I just heard it again. It's a very faint click coming from back here in this throttle area. Next, what I want to talk about is your fuel tank. This is a 45% larger opening fuel tank. It's got an angled fuel neck, and that's to help pour fuel in with less spilling. It's eco-friendly. We want to make sure that when you fill it with fuel, you don't go past the neck. So right about here is where the level needs to be in fuel. Next, let's talk about your air filter. So loosen that latch and that latch. Pull it straight up. This is your air filter here. This foam is your pre-filter, and this captures all the fine particles before they get into your actual filter. This can be cleaned with hot soapy water, let it dry off. This here you want to inspect that it's not cracked, there's no holes anywhere, it looks good. Once this dries off, you can install it back on, just carefully, all the way till it covers, just like that. Place this with Kohler reading just the way the engine has it, just like that. Next, we're going to talk about the muffler. If you have a mower that comes in and the muffler is loose, as this one is, that tells me one thing, that the RPMs are too high. This engine is set to be at 2,800 RPMs. You can get your tachometer and set it to 2,800 RPMs. That'll be what the factory recommends. We want to tighten these 10mm nuts back. Just like that. And you're good to go there. Next, let's talk about this oil filter and the dipstick. So you got an oil filter because this engine has an oil filter. It's a pressurized system. It's got a superior lubrication system. When you replace this oil filter, it's important to lube the gasket on the oil filter with clean oil. You want to install the oil filter, and once it touches the base, give it about another full turn, and that's set. The dipstick, to check the proper level, this engine holds 24 ounces of oil, 10W30. To check the oil level, put the dipstick down, and we turn, loosen, pull it back out, and we want to check the reading. I'm going to wipe this down. The reading should be in between these two holes where the crosshatch is. I prefer to see the oil level on the upper hole. So we want to take a reading, put the dipstick in, turn it, loosen it, pull it back out. And it's kind of hard to see because it's so clear, but we're right there where we need to be, just below that upper hole. Now, when you're going to change the oil in this engine, it's important to turn the engine on for a few minutes to get the oil hot, to agitate all the contaminants. That way when you tip the mower over on its side, like this, all the oil will come out a lot quicker with all the contaminants. Once the oil stops pouring out, what you want to do is pick the mower up like this and drop it down, and do it one more time, and then drop it down, and that should release another 2 to 3 ounces of oil that stays stuck in those pockets. So again, when you fill it back up with oil, 10W30, you want to take your dipstick, check the reading, and you want to be just below this upper hole there. 24 ounces of oil is what it calls for. Now that you've seen me perform the adjustments and explain to you what each of these bales and levers do, we're just going to go over that real quickly. This bale works with this lever, and we want to make sure that each click will engage. This is your throttle cable. We want to make sure that it chokes properly, the high RPMs are set correctly, the low RPMs, and then the off position is adjusted properly. We also want to discuss the adjustments that were made down here, 1, 2, and 3, how those were done, what to look for. The adjustment that was made for the throttle cable here, and what to look for. The switch and the audible click to look out for. We talked about the fuel tank, the air filter, how to service the air filter. We talked about the exhaust and what it means if it's wiggly. We talked about changing the oil and adding oil, how to do that properly. The main focus of this video is that you guys will know how to make the adjustments properly. That way the machine runs at its peak performance so it can get the job done.